guys and welcome to MotorBeam. This is the TVS Apache RTR 310 and this is the brand new KTM Duke 390. Which one is better? Let's find out in today's video. So guys, welcome back indoors. We are going to talk a little bit more detail. So Apache versus Duke, we are going to do a comparison, but there is a difference. We are not going to bring the Speed 400 in this comparison today. Speed is although the proper rival here, but then again the pricing is a little too far, and then again the engine specs. 399cc, exact same bore and stroke. People might say that same engine use kiya hai, but no. Bajaj made a new engine for the KTM and that is called the LC4C. Hence the Speed 400 from Triumph has been kept aside in this comparison. आज के वीडियो में we are talking about the Apache RTR 310, which is a brand new motorcycle and it is a motorcycle to definitely look out for because it is the most feature rich motorcycle. So ये comparison में ना बहुत तालमेल चलने वाला है. Now both these motorcycles have a very distinctive character. Apache looks like it come out from a different breed altogether. Like it's a mix of a Street Fighter, MT09 and बहुत सारा mixture of designs plus Duke का जो tail है उसका भी यहाँ पे signatures दिख रहा है. The Duke on the other hand has had an update altogether. It's a brand new chassis and with rear chassis का जो section है it's an aluminium forged thingy. Same is the case for the Apache. Even that one gets a rear aluminium forged thingy. Both the motorcycles look quite a lot different, but they are very much in the sports commuter category. Should I say a sport category itself in the 300 to 400cc. Now in the Apache you get three specific color options. एक black जो color मिलता है वो, तो additional 10,000 rupees you can get the racing blue or else you can get fury yellow which is there. For the KTM these colors are not there. There's just two colors. This is the blue color which is a dark blue shade with anodized silver at the rear and orange wheels. There is another color that is the complete orange with a tail which is black. The seat is even orange, so that is a lot of orange for the 390. The shrouds which are there on the Duke, they are little too long and it just looks a little bit weird from a particular angle, but then again from the face it does give a bulky effect. However, it is not a big motorcycle. Both the motorcycles get the exact same tire spec, 110 at the front, 150 at the rear, so no stress on that part. However, there is an engine ka difference that's there because you get a reverse incline thingy on the TVS Apache RTR 310. However, a normal LC4C engine on the Duke. The Apache gets a 312cc motor which produces close to 36 PS of power and 28.7 Nm of torque, whereas 10 more horsepower and almost 10 more Nm of torque is the number for the Duke. So clearly the winner on the engine part is the Duke because the amount of performance it produces, the amount of torque it has, the amount of rush that engine has is way closer to the red line. So if you want a motorcycle that you want to just spin it open and enjoy it to the max, the Duke does it way more better than the Apache. Apache has a good low end, it has a good mid range, so if you want to ride the motorcycle in the city you will actually like the Apache because lower gears mein it is much better. However, there's no knocking for the Duke either. Now the engine drinks and drinking a lot of petrol is the nature for both the motorcycles. However, the best mileage that you can expect from the Apache is somewhere close to 25 to 28 kilometers per liter, not more than that. Even if you ride it in a very sane manner, 30 is the number that you can expect. For the Duke, somewhere close to 25 to 27 is the number that you can achieve, and on the test that I was out, I could get only 23 kilometers per liter because I was ringing it hard open and I got only a day to enjoy it. So I was just enjoying the motorcycle, not caring about mileage. And if that is the case, then Duke is the one that you should go for. However, things are a little bit better here because you get a 15 liter fuel tank on the Duke. Same on the Apache, it's just an 11 liter unit. There is a thing that's common between both the motorcycles, and that is the weight. 168.7 kgs or maybe 169 kgs for the Apache and 168 kgs for the Duke 390. So yes, both the motorcycles weigh almost the same and the Apache has lesser power and torque. So यहाँ पे थोड़ा सीन हो जाता है. The 0 to 100 numbers are also clear. However, both the motorcycles have a very similar top speed where with my weight I could achieve close to 157 on the Apache and 158 on the Duke. So the standard number of 180 mm of ground clearance has been common across all the TVS motorcycles and they make sure that all the motorcycles have that, so which is a great thing. But then KTM has upped it again. The KTM's ground clearance is now 183 mm, making it for a street motorcycle a very good number. And यहाँ पे Indian roads में where roads go utterly bad, it helps. Earlier the Duke used to have 170, 160, and when you had a pillion, because of the underbelly exhaust, it used to scrape everywhere. Now that is an improvement. And the wheelbase too for both the motorcycle is almost the same with just a 4 mm difference. So 4 mm मतलब इतना छोटा सा हो जाता है, ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है व्हील बेस वाइज, एंड हेंस डायनामिकली both the motorcycles are very similar to take corners to ride sanely or push it out on the track. You can actually enjoy both the motorcycles. However, on the handlebar feedback, the Duke feels a lot more lighter, with the handlebar being a lot more light, lot more easy, and I could actually go and do knee downs on the Duke. For the Apache, it took me some time getting used to because it felt a little more front heavy as compared to that of the Duke, and to get used to on a track with a race suit on with so much heat, it takes time, but the Apache can handle really well as well. The handlebar structure and the riding posture actually feels a lot more spacious on the TVS. I can't believe the sentence I just said, because TVS Apache RTR 310 feels spacious enough to move around too. The Duke on the other hand feels a lot more tighter, the handlebar is a little bit closer, and it is a motorcycle that short riders will enjoy it too. Taller riders will not have a problem, but short riders के लिए भी problem नहीं है. Both the motorcycle get the exact same seat height of 800 mm, so accessing it is also pretty easy. However, since we are talking about accessing it, let's talk about accessories as well, and this is where the game changes completely. As a standard equipment in both the motorcycles, you get traction control, but to get the quick shifter you need to pay a certain amount extra for the TVS. The base variant does not get a quick shifter, however both the motorcycles get quick shifter at least as an option. If you talk about the instrument cluster, I actually like it more on the TVS because it is a lot more fluid, it gives you a lot more information. Actually it's the same amount of information that is there on the Duke, but the Duke has a black background for the whole time. The TVS however is a personal preference for me because it looks better and it has a very good tactile feel with the switches too. Tactile feel है यहाँ पे Duke में भी है, लेकिन वो प्लास्टिक है ना, it's more of a glossy finish and you never know, the buttons might just go off pretty nicely. There is a good amount of bezel that's there on the screen of the Duke, so overall I feel that the TVS's meter has everything better and you can customize it the way you want it and it looks decent enough. As a standard equipment, you actually get adjustable suspension on the Duke, which is not there on the Apache as standard. You have to pay a little bit extra, but you get a little more adjustability because on the Duke it is just 5 clicks, like left 3 or right 2. That is it for the compression and rebound. And for the rear, it's 5 to 7 clicks again for the rebound. That's about it. Or preload function to have. With the adjustability function for the TVS, there are a lot more adjustability options, but you have to pay extra, and that is for the dynamic kit. Dynamic kit is about 18,000 rupees over the normal price, and hence I feel that if you want adjustability ka itna sara options, so then only you invest 18,000 rupees. There is another kit that is a dynamic pro kit जिसमें cool seats आ जाता है. You get cornering traction control, cornering cruise control. This is an extra feature that only TVS has. Duke does not has cruise control. There is something called as cruise control in the meter, but it is not cruise control, it is cruise limiter, or I can say speed limiter as such. वहाँ पे you can set a speed limit and it will control the cruise. ऐसा control cruise करेगा, ऐसा वाला dialogue somebody from Bajaj had said over there. So that was a literally failure thingy I said, but कुछ नहीं. If you want to add something like a cruise control later, it's just a software thingy and can be added. Functions है वहाँ पे, but right now as a standard equipment you don't get cruise control on the Duke. You get cruise control, which is very nicely usable, and I've tried it multiple times on the Apache and it was flawless.
If you want to use the cruise control, all I have to do is press this on button. यहाँ पे you can see, and I'll just set it. It is at 69, a very good number, and I'm not using any throttle at all. If I want to downshift, I can downshift too, and it will still stay on cruise control. Amazing.
Cruise control also works on the track too, so if you're leaning in, it actually reduces the speed to a certain amount, the amount of lean that you're going through. And then there is a cornering traction control as well. When you are in a corner, when you are leaning in and you open throttle too hard on the Duke, rear was sliding out. It was a traction control that was saving it thoda bahut, but the tires were not up to spec, W rated neither, they were H rated tires, इसलिए rear was stepping out at times. For the TVS, it is a lot more safer because corner karte karte once you open throttle, it saves you. It does not go whack crazy, it goes gradually, and that is the actual difference and perfect part where if there's a new person who's learning to ride such a motorcycle but pushing it to the limit, he will not have the problems. यहाँ पे there's a sentence which most of the people say कि bike बचा लेगी. This is where TVS comes in because it is tech loaded. And then there is touring or going out in a particular day where the climate changes drastically and it's too hot or too cold, and that is when the climate control seats will always help you out. So that is additional feature. So if you want a feature rich motorcycle, if you're a techie guy, you will actually, or even a girl, yeah, you will actually like the Apache more than the Duke. Duke is just outright performance and it actually scares you crazy because the performance is such कि वो old generation, first generation का Duke का feel भी लेके आता है with the smoothness and refinement of the Gen 3. Things have gotten a lot more lighter for the Duke because RC वाला disc plates 320mm and a 230 at the rear with lighter wheels, hollow axle, everything has come into place. But the braking feedback for the Duke, it's not as sharp or not as strong as I would expect it to be. This is for the reason that the tires don't give you that much grip behind to have a feedback coming in that sharper. Brakes are nice, no doubts on that. The TVS brakes are even better because the feedback on the brakes from TVS was a lot more sharper. It didn't have a wooden feel from the start. Initial bite was strong and so was a gradual pull till the end. If I'm hitting full brakes on my top speed, I had more confidence slowing down on the Apache as compared to that of the Duke. Duke was not a problem as such, but यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा बोलते हैं ना, it's 19-20 का difference that's there and it feels like that. So braking feedback and overall the feel from the brakes, even with cornering ABS coming in, the Apache felt a little bit better than the Duke. The pricing for the Duke is a little bit shocking because everybody was expecting it to be a little bit higher, but 3.10 lakhs ex-showroom mein, it's a good price. On road, it comes under 4 lakh rupees. If you get a fully loaded package from TVS with all the tech and everything, the ex-showroom is somewhere close to 289. So if I compare both of them, there is just a 20,000 rupee ex-showroom price difference, and for that you get more performance, more fun on the KTM Duke. But if you want something that's tech loaded, that's feature loaded, it is the perfect bike for you, which does not have exhilarating power and torque, but it is enough to get you around quite quickly. The Apache fits well here too. Now this is a scenario which gets a little too confusing. If you like the design of the Duke, you might as well take it. If you like the design of the Apache, you might as well take that. But if you want to pick one between these two, it is your necessity. If you are looking for a new motorcycle, you are a brand new, you are like not a brand new person, you are like 20-30 years old, whatever that is. You are brand new into motorcycling. If you want to learn a lot of stuff and you don't know much about how these bikes will perform, or there is a chance that they might kill you, get the TVS because the electronics will actually help you out for a lot of things. Get the complete loaded package for the color you want. If you are experienced enough, if you have ridden the 390, if you have ridden bigger bikes and you want a bike in the 400cc category that is mad performing, then consider the Duke. And then there has been a scenario where an existing KTM 390 Duke owner actually checked out the new 390 and he was blown away. So this is what the verdict is. New to this but want something techy, Apache. Full blown performance and don't care much about looks or whatever that is there, the Duke it is. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.